Jason Momoa opens up about his secret rejection that's haunted him for years.
I felt crazy, madly in love with her, and that scares me.
That was another thing that really messed him up. No regret. I'm pretty good at that.
Jason is still convinced that Lisa is his perfect match.
She's my dream woman. I was like, Mommy, I want that one.
Lisa Bonet was on the Cosby Show, and then you got her pregnant.
We're incredibly and deeply in love.
I knew that was my man.
Did Jason Momoa have anything to do with Lisa divorcing rock star Lenny Kravitz?
There were times where I did not behave properly.
You're gonna protect your tribe.
There were times where I was not respectful.
Oh man, I wanna see what he's made of.
It put something in me.
I convinced her to take me home.
Jason Momoa rushed to the hospital following a violent bar fight tonight.
We stopped counting after about 140 stitches.
Yeah, it's such an explosive situation.
I don't think I realized what that moment did until so many years later.
Do you and the baby hang out with Mr. Kravitz?
His father probably wasn't around either.
Families are forced to be apart a lot.
There are people who come into our lives so powerful, they change the path of who we become.
Was it love at first sight?
I've always wanted to meet her. She was a queen, always. I actually had dreaded my hair almost for her. I was 8 years old going, Mommy, that's my wife. She just doesn't know yet.
Until Lisa, Jason had never seen someone who looked like him on TV.
Lisa Bonet was on the Cosby Show, and you guys were going together, and then you got her pregnant.
She is like the female version of me. And we're incredibly and deeply in love.
Even though his dream girl was with another man, Jason knew what he really wanted.
Ever since I was a little boy, I always wanted to be a father. Raised by my mother, I didn't have a man around.
Born in Honolulu, raised in Iowa.
Yeah.
That's an interesting juxtaposition.
It is. It just kind of identifies being that outcast and not really fitting into two different worlds. In Iowa, there wasn't any races, so I grew up just the one Hawaiian in Iowa.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to Hawaii and I'd be the Haole, the white Hawaiian.
Jason didn't belong in Iowa, so he tried to fit in Hawaii.
I flew over and I just stayed at my dad's, lived on the floor there, and I saw this video of my family, and I couldn't believe it was at Blockbuster, and I saw it, and I was like, what am I doing? And then a TV show came, and then fell in love with acting. For an anxious young man, it finally allowed me to be anything that I wanted to be. And I came back and tried to make people believe that I could act. It was very hard to get a job. It just, people looked at me a different way.
People wouldn't take you seriously, you couldn't get an agent, no?
It was a challenging time trying to put food on the table.
Jason wasn't the only one who couldn't find a place where he belonged.
What have you been doing? You've been missing.
Not working, spending time with my kid. Just have gone through lots of changes.
Lenny started collaborating with Madonna, and the media sparked rumors that Lenny was having an affair with the singer and multiple other women. The gossip became too much to handle. Lisa said her heart was blown open from just loving someone so much, she filed for divorce.
Do you and the baby hang out with Mr. Kravitz and spend time together, the three of you, every now and then?
Lisa was still collecting the pieces of her broken heart when Jason stormed into her life.
We met at this jazz club, and we just happened to be at the right place, right time. I see her. I turn around to my friend and was like, I convinced her to take me home because I was living in a hotel. It was Cafe 101, and we sat down and she ordered a Guinness. My muse, the love of my life, my partner in crime. I felt stupid, crazy, madly in love with her.
Jason wanted to be there for his kids, unlike Lenny.
In July 2007, Lisa's water broke long before her expected due date. Jason was filming in Canada at the time. He freaked out and made a mad dash to the airport. He made it back to their home just in the nick of time, before Lisa gave birth to their baby girl.
My wife gave me 3 beautiful, feral kids.
Jason was determined to find his place in acting, but left his family behind.
It now takes me away from the things that I love most. My ohana, my family, that scares me.
Yeah, in this industry, in this business, families are kind of forced to be apart a lot.
Caught up trying to fit in as an actor, Jason forgot about his first dream until one violent night stopped him in his tracks.
Jason Momoa was rushed to the emergency room after being slashed in the face during a fight.
It was really bad. They stopped counting after about 140 stitches. And so that really set me back, and I took a year off, and I had both the kids then.
Stuck at home, surrounded by the family he built, Jason realized he'd lost sight of where he truly belonged.
There are people who come into our lives like guiding spirits, providing the missing lessons we need. It's the people around you that make you the king, so it's all these people believing in, your family and friends. Definitive moments. So powerful, they change the path of who we become.
With his family behind him, Jason fearlessly embraced where he came from at his next audition.
And you were actually considering performing the haka and Lowry War dance for your Game of Thrones audition?
I was unsure if I was going to do it. And I'm like, oh, you mind if I try something first before we do the audition? And they're like, oh, please, be delighted. Your soul opens up and all your ancestors come in. And then I just start getting into it, which is rather scary.
Jason risked it all, and it paid off.
It's definitely the greatest thing I've ever done as an actor. I'll never play a role that'll ever have that big of an impact, I don't think. Sounds like Aquaman might be pretty cool.
And that helped him get the role that meant the most to him.
I had an audition for Batman. I just played it polar opposite of what it should have been. And then they liked the audition, and he's like, all right, Aquaman. And I'm like, not seeing it. And he's like, wait. And he starts explaining, some Polynesian history, and he just started going off about how he was an outsider.
Growing up, Jason never fit in, but now he built a world where his kids could belong.
So Aquaman is one of the first, if not the first, biracial superheroes to star in his own movie.
This is one of the greatest moments in my life. I'm so honored to play this role because it represents all of us, all of Polynesia.
That's like the biggest honor you could have. Your kids do something you love, you do it together, travel the world doing it.
And then for us to all get to just be together, it's awesome.
And now, best part is I get to share that dream with my children and the people that I love. And with them, my dreams finally came true. I'm a husband and a father, and it is the greatest honor of my life. I'm not alone anymore. I found my place, my home.